Hello, guys, and I hope you're all doing great. You all are doing great and shit like that. But the topic of today's video would be um, something like you're you and you not fitting. You'll never fit in type shit like that. In the world and stuff like that. With that, I wanted to say it's not like I hope you can see me. I just have to do some things right, and I'll get back to my place. But let me do it like that. Yeah. All I wanted to say basically is that okay, the topic would be you, your you and shit like that. You being your you, uh, what makes you you, shit like and stuff like that. So basically, it's not that only your astrology makes you, because depending on the time that you were born in, that's how low key your little energy, this screenshot of that overall energy transition of different planets. And you have the transition of different planets, right? One sec. You have the transition of different planets, and all the planets are moving. Nothing stops. Like at the time, it never stops. It like only you can procrastinate and stop, but you will lose this time, But the time never stops. Although we are taking the time, and concept of everything is moving. Everything is moving and shit like that. And it's like, yeah, it's moving, and you are now born, at this point, but it still continues to move. And all this, so you are basically a screenshot of the transitions. So if you were born at this specific place, you embody to some degree the energies that were going around at that point. So let's say all this transition is like basically a film, and you were born in this specific moment, like I know second, 44 minutes 44 seconds, a screenshot of this specific moment and shit like that. And this specific moment, even like in the film, has specific type of energy. Like I don't know, let's say it will be like some like you have a build up of the film, right? And you have like a, I don't know how you call it, climax or something like that. I know, like the top, and then it goes down. And somewhere like here you were born, like just as an example, you were born somewhere here when it already went from the exaltation down. So even that point of the film has its own energy due to the fact, even like a screenshot, it has its own energy because before it there was like a whole development, before it there was like a whole exaltation. Now at this point it goes down, and even the person who already seen the whole film he will see the screenshot and he will get the energy of that specific scene, what he was feeling there. But it's like already individual shit, right? But like basically he will get even the energies of the shit. The same way works Loki, this astrology thingy, right? That you were born in this specific moment, so you embody Loki, like similar energies. But it all depends on the year and shit too, because for example, the person who was born the same day as me, but like 2 years later or 2 years earlier, will have differently placed like thingy. So even we will differentiate. So here you have this little controversial thingy, which is like about the dates. That you can have the same date, let's say 3rd of July or 4th of July, but each year is gonna have some little different energies. It might be the same sun sign, the same degree of the sun sign, but it will involve a different moon. It will involve a different placement of the Mercury, degree, even like Venus, Mars, and shit like that, and so on and so on and so on. Pluto, and shit like that. Yeah. So you were born in specific at that screenshot, so you low-key embody those energies, right? And you can go deeper into like, yeah, you came here down here and you embody this specific energy because like some karma tale, it's your like karma to some degree, and you had to be born down here for you to like get more wider, brighter, more expanded and shit like that. You had to actually be born in these energies for you to develop some energies that you lacked or you didn't have, or you had but you had to do it more and shit like that, right? So you were born in this specific placement for a reason. And you can even look at this, like for example, you have like some specific flowers that grow like in summer, let's say, right? But let's say it grows in July, right? But you have 11 other months. But those 11 other months is like the whole development for it to be grown this specific time. So all these things make it this specific flower. So if this specific flower would be would be, let's say, would grow out a month earlier, that would mean it would need some other energies for it to come out earlier, type shit like that, right? So yeah, so it's the whole thing. The same it goes with you and stuff like that. But I was getting to the point that okay, that's one of the ways how you can get your you. So you're born the specific energy, so you embody those energies, right? So that will also be that you will for sure differentiate from people who were born in different type of screenshots, especially like most of the time, not most of the time, but maybe especially when that screenshot is opposing your screenshot, and shit like that. So you would have more like opposing energies and shit like that. But even here it's kind of difficult to see, because now we live in the world which is more like getting to the point that we are all the same, but we are all the same not in the way that we are all individuals and we help each other, but the closeness and the sameness in the way that yeah, we are into similar shit, we do the same shit, we wake up the same way, we compare and contrast each other. We like a person compares himself to other people, even though he's completely a different person. And like that was one of the reasons why I wanted to do this video, is because like I was sitting, because like I mean, like I also have like different alignments, different placements of my zodiac signs and shit like that, and I was just going on and on and on, like in my head, about those little thingies and what makes me not me, but like what makes me different from other people, but in a way that why I'm not like others, and shit like that, but not in a egoistical way, it's more in a way that why that guy is more successful in that area than me, why this guy is more successful in that area than me, and shit like that, why, for example, they don't have the same problems that I have, or for example, why they see, like for example, let's say I have some type of problems, let's say, okay, that problem would be of me reflecting all my life, blah blah blah, and so okay, me reflecting all my life, blah blah, plus I have like a moon in first house, and I have a rising Sagittarius, and I have moon in Sagittarius, I have Mars in Sagittarius, so, and it's all in the first house, so I'm always reflecting and shit like that, even like I catch myself today on that shit. I was like, oh yeah, but then, due to the fact that I know that's is a part of me, that thing is a part of me, that made me more kind of calmer, it made me calm down and shit like that. I hope I didn't leave the light there. That made me more like relaxed, due to the fact that I was like, yeah, okay, that's me, I don't have to worry about that, because that's me, that's my energies, and I maybe came down here for me to get hold of those energies, so I'll get more developed in that specific area which I'm developing in right now, so for example, maybe last lifetime I was not able to get hold of the like reflecting and shit like that on my life. Maybe I was just doing shit and I was like, yeah, fuck everybody else, but that maybe also can be the case. But I was like, yeah, fuck everybody else, I don't care about nobody else. But now at this point I'm actually like kind of reflecting everything, like, okay, why this person did that, why this person did that, why I did this, maybe this is blah blah blah, and this, that, and third, and shit like that. So that makes me, right? And when I was like thinking about that, as I said before, kind of it kind of made me feel in such a way that mm, that I'm not like others, but in a way, as I said before, that why, for example, some things that I see as problematic are not problematic for other people. Maybe for a person to reflect is not something that he even worries about. But I was reflecting and I was like, yeah, why the fuck I'm reflecting that often and shit like that, So yeah, so getting to the point, I guess I would want to say that you is you for a reason, and to some degree you'll never fit in all this, like we are all together, we are all like kind of same on the same scale um, community. I mean, like, depending on how you build that community, right? If everybody is their own you and that's how they come together, where you have different people going through different stages, through different life, which makes them their own flower, all this like cycle made them to be like to blossom in this specific world, and they have to go through all of this for them to blossom. And when you already have all the flowers blossomed, they actually made a very beautiful meadow. But if everybody would be like, yeah, I want to be this like, let's say one of the flowers is very beautiful and everybody like, oh, I wish I would be that flower, and like, okay, I have to this, I have to go through the same cycle for me to become this flower. And now everybody wants to be that specific flower. now everybody ignore Now everybody are ignoring their own development for them to blossom into their own beauty. They're ignoring that and they're getting more into the, oh yeah, I want, like, okay, that's the expression of the beauty, so I have to do that for me to be blossoming in a beautiful way. But when you're gonna blossom in your own way, that's gonna be a beautiful way too, because that's also beauty, but you just kind of don't look at it in that way due to the fact that somebody already blossomed with their own beauty. And you're like, okay, that's the term for the beauty. So if I'm gonna blossom in this way, for example, let's say, if you take flowers, plants and shit like that, you have flowers, right? Like summer, blah 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 and shit like that. But you also have moss. You have moss in England and shit like that. Let's say some of the people are moss, and they're looking at this like beautiful flower blossoming, and they're like, bro, I wish I would blossom like that, but I'm a fucking moss. And that's already makes them feel in some type of way, like, oh bro, I'm a moss, like, what the fuck, I'll never be like that. For me to be like that, I have to also do this and copy that guy for me to get to that point. But you are a moss, you have your own specific journey, you have your own specific um, not routines and patterns, but you have your own kind of thing is that you have to develop, and when you are developing them, you can teach them. But even if that beautiful blossoming flower would try to be a moss, it would not be a moss, because even it would be like going against its energies. This kind of flower can fit in the ecosystem of moss, but it's low-key different. It would have to go through more problems maybe for it to be like a moss. It can maybe be a moss, but like it would not be its own you. That flower would not be this specific flower. That flower would try to copy a moss, but this flower was born for it to be a flower, because otherwise there will be no flower and there will be only mosses, and like, what the fuck, nobody will know what the fuck is beauty. But I mean, like, beauty, everything has beauty in its own way, right? But I'm talking about the overall beauty, like beauty, like, yeah, a guy is cute, a girl is pretty, a girl is beautiful, or like something is beautiful. But beauty can be anything, even like the way that you fuck up can also be beautiful, and shit like that. Yeah, but I was just saying that, maybe some of y'all or like other people, maybe you also saw, but I guess like it's more maybe a personal thing, so not everybody expresses it, that some people are low-key suffering due to the fact, like, they suffer in their own emotions, thoughts and shit like that. For example, me sitting here and thinking like, bro, why I'm always reflecting, blah blah blah, I think I have some problems with me. Now with time you start to like develop more thoughts, more feelings into this specific field. Now you start to get more crazier about it, then you start to get more maybe depressed about it, then you get lost in that shit, then now you need a psychiatrist, psychologist for him to tell you like, bro, chill out, nothing is that bad. But even he maybe will not get the point. Because this specific thing actually makes you. This specific thing you have to go through for it to make you. It's like, for example, one of the examples could be like when you have a boy who was born without the father, right? So he never had the father. He always saw people having he always saw kids having fathers and shit like that, all this fatherly love and stuff like that, but he never had a father. And he knows how it feels like not to have a father. You know, all those kids, they don't know how it feels like when a person doesn't have a father, especially like a small kid, right? And this is specific boy, he knows what it means for a kid not to have a parent, right? Especially a father. So all this development, when he will get older and he will have his own kids, or even like will take care of other kids, he will know how a kid may feel when this specific kid doesn't have a father, you know. So even if this boy who is already grown into a father, who maybe will second question even him leaving, you know, his wife who he hates, or baby mama who he hates, due to the fact that he doesn't want to break the child's like he doesn't want to break the child, you know, just like leaving. Okay, now the child also doesn't have a father and shit like that, you know. So that's basically all this journey that you're going through. It develops you into being you know. But like that's why it's pretty, because you know, like if everybody would copy the same thing, let's say you have different type of drinks, but everyone to be like this specific bottle, like everything would be the same, like nothing would change, everybody would go the same way, and nothing else would be developed. Let's say like one of the examples would be like, let's say everybody now wants to be a rapper, right? The whole goddamn world wants to be a rapper, but like who gonna make beats, who gonna make R&B songs, who gonna make drum and bass, who gonna make techno, who gonna make rock, who gonna make films, who gonna make medicines, who gonna help people, who gonna be a teacher? Nobody gonna be that, because everyone wants to be a rapper, type shit like that, you know. So that's where the fuck up gets. But even people who want to be a rapper maybe will not be a good rapper, because it goes against their own kind of energies, you know. Maybe this person is more into expressing himself via actually maybe drawing or making medicine or hearing or into cooking, right? But he will not do that due to the fact that he will think like, okay, everybody are trying to be a rapper, so I guess I also have to be a rapper, because even though I don't want to be a rapper, I still have to be a rapper because I'm feeling all this type of way, because I'm not fitting in, you know, shit like that. But of course you will not fit in, because your own screenshot, you know, you may fit in the whole film, but you, of course, you will not fit in into another scene, because your own different scene, you know. You as a ending will not fit in the beginning, because you're already spoiling the whole story and shit like that, you know. So yeah, so I would say that don't actually care about like the fact that you're not fitting into the world, or like into some group zone and shit like that, you know. It's like also to some degree, if let's say you're not fitting into some group zone, group friend, some firma, some job, some type of society, some type of other things and shit like that, if you're not fitting in and you're still trying to fit in to some degree, I would say maybe it's a procrastination. To some degree, still, yeah, you're developing, you're trying to you will maybe understand that, yeah, I have to dip, but it takes time maybe for you longer than for the other guy and shit like that. So to some degree, it's also development. So yeah, fuck everything. Just do you. And like, if it takes you more time, then it takes you more time. But the fact is that what? Yeah, if you're not fitting in, then it will make you leave that group and shit like that, you know. You'll understand, okay, I'm not fitting in, that's why I have to change places, because it's not like I'm wrong here, it's more like this doesn't fit me. It's not like I'm not fitting in, it's more like this doesn't fit me and shit like that, you know, from that perspective. But even if it will take you 10 years, I said, yeah, it's procrastination when you're trying to fit in, because low-key you're just standing on one place and you're trying to go in the way that you don't have to go. and so the way that you have to go is not being developed, right? So you're just going this way, and this way is just this shit is not moving. But even here, if you're moving in this way, to some degree, it will bring you back to your road, you know. So all roads lead to Rome the same way as here, you know. So at some point you will understand. Even like, let's say you're now 15 and you're trying to fit in, and now you're 80, and now at this point you only understood that, yeah, I actually had to do my own self. But it's not even a bad thing. I mean, like, yeah, it took you a lot of time, but you still got to that point that you had to develop, right? So nothing is bad at all. It's just like, yeah, you have to come back here again, I guess. Um, maybe in a new kind of body with new type of energies, for you to handle, you know. Maybe now at this point you don't have to handle that you had to handle this time, but next time you have to handle that aspect of you getting into something for a long time and not getting out of it, you know, and shit like that. Because at this point you were trying to get to the point. At this story of the guy who was 15, then he then he turned 80, then he understood, right? That situation that I explained. Like, he maybe came down here for him to develop this way, but he was going that way, and now maybe in next lifetime he has to take care of this thing, you know, first for him to go here. Maybe he will have something done that he will go simultaneously in both ways, but now at this point he also has to develop this point to take hold of it too, because he had fucked up, right, at some point in his previous life and shit like that. Yeah. But basically, like, what I would like to say, I mean, like, I don't have to make this video hella long, right? For 50 minutes, it's like 21 already. But I guess what I would like to say is like, don't worry too much over the shit that, you know, sometimes I feel like everybody has it. Like, you're sitting there and you're like, bro, I'm not fitting in. I think something is wrong with me. You know, I think I have to, now you have depression, blah blah blah. I think I have to go harder and shit like that, you know, for me to fit in and shit like that. But basically, you don't have to fit in. It's like, for example, you have football players and you have nerds, right? So, for example, if a nerd tried to fit in into football playing, of course, he will not fit in. He fits in his own field and he'll be the best one in his own field, you know, and shit like that. So, yeah. So, don't let that shit go over your head with all this, like, yeah, I'm not fitting in and shit like that. You basically don't have to fit in. You create your own shit, then you with your own shit come in, and that's how you're fitting in, you know. Because you already develop your own, you understood, you develop your own screenshot that makes a part of the puzzle of the whole picture, or makes um, a moment of the whole film and shit like that, right? But without you, there would be no film. Even like this little 1 second of film is also important, you know, to the whole film and shit like that. So yeah, so don't let stuff go over your head. Just do your you. Even if you're not fitting in, maybe you don't have to fit in. You know, maybe you have some other purpose and shit like that. And the field that you're trying to fit in, it's there because to some degree somebody does what he wanted to do at some point, you know. If all your friends are rappers and you want to be a beat maker, but you're still low-key trying to fit into that rap group, you're losing on the opportunities that you could be a beat maker. Now you're making beats for the whole goddamn crew. Now you're getting so much money, you get more money than them all combined together, right? Now it's not like you want their praise. Now it's more like they want your praise, not praise, but I mean like your kind of attention, um your validity and shit like that, because now at this point they need you, you know. At that point you needed them, first of all as an example, first of all, second of all as like a validation, like, oh yeah, 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 it's okay, you cannot write rhymes, but yeah, you can still hang out with us and like freestyle or shit like that, I don't know. But now at this point they're like, bro, he does beats like I need beats like goddamn it, blah 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 blah, but you will not get to the point of them even putting you on the same level, like bro, now we are actually in a team together, let's work together and make something out. You will not get to the point if you will not turn from that way of you trying to be a rapper into the way of you trying now being a beat maker, right? So that's basically it. That's basically it. Like you will fit with your you will, okay, let's start like that. You will not fit in the world when you're doing your you, but at some point you will fit in the world with when you're doing your you know. So I guess first you have to go through those stages of you finding your you, which is not fitting in maybe to some degree, you know. Then you understanding like, yeah, I'm my own you, of course I will not fit in, of course I have my own stuff that I worry about, of course I have my own things that I'm comforted with or I'm comfy in, you know. Of course I have my own likings and dislikings, of course I have my own hobbies, of course I have my own perspective on the life, of course I have my own even sleep routines, of course I have my own skin tone, of course skin color, of course I have my own kind of blood flow, even like blood, how you call that, blood, what's your blood, like you have A, B, right? You have B plus, A plus, and shit like that. So of course you have your own thingies, and if you would try to fit in with the guy who is completely different from you, of course you would lack, and you would have all this like feelings and thoughts about, oh yeah, greed, you know, like now you look at him and you're like, why he's so successful, I'm not so successful. Now you have all these like depression feelings, depressed feelings, now you have all these feelings like of hatred, now you have all these feelings of jealousy, now you have all these feelings that you are not even, that from the get-go didn't even have to exist, but you don't even have to develop them, you know. You didn't even have to develop them and shit like that. Yeah. So basically, I would say just do your you. Get to the point of you finding your you, understanding your you. First of all, it will make your life easier. You know, you'll be like, yeah, okay, that's just me and shit like that. I'm reflecting here all my life every day because that's just me. You know, and then okay, you can also get into astrology. It will okay help you better, I guess. You know, you will compare and contrast. Like for example, you doing something in real life, right? You're doing something in real life, and you're like, okay, this, but the same characteristics I can get from this specific alignment in zodiac signs, and like the adjectives that come out from here and the adjectives that come out from here kind of have the same representation, and maybe that's why too, you know, to some degree. So now every time you'll be getting into that point, you'll be like, ah bro, I have to chill out. Like for example, now next time when you're gonna reflect and be kind of depressed, like why I'm the only one reflecting, you will be like, I will chill out because that's me and shit like that, right? So even here, like you being here, you don't actually care about nothing at all. You don't care about somebody thinking about you something. Somebody saying that yeah, it would be better this, that, and third. Somebody saying that oh bro, it's not enough. Somebody saying oh bro, you're not fitting in. Somebody saying like blah blah this, that, and third. But you'll not care about it because you're doing your you, and that brings you the most joy. You know, it will bring you the most joy, I guess, because it's like you are doing your you. You're not trying to fit into something that you don't actually like, but you feel like you have to fit in due to the fact that everybody's trying to get there, but you don't like to do it, and you're like doing it like, you know, with forcefully, like going to school or going to training or doing homework that you don't like to do, and now you're forcefully have to pick yourself out up from your bed, forcefully be like um sit down here and like for 2 hours just be like I don't want to do this, and then you actually still have to do this. But in the case of you doing your you, you're actually just doing what brings you joy. Like you, let's say you're not into homeworks, you're more into playing football, right? You get joy from playing football, and okay, you go outside, you play football, then you're like okay, I'm actually good at playing football, and this brings me joy. Maybe should I be a football player? And you just go develop yourself into football playing, right? And then you're a football player, and that's it. Now it brings you joy. Now you're doing what you like to do. Now you're doing something that you are fitting into. Like you're, first of all, you like to play football. Second of all, you're good at playing football. Third of all, you're getting money. It's your profession now. Fourth of all, now people see what is actually to be that blossoming flower and what it takes for it to blossom and shit like that, and so on and on and on and on, right? So yeah. So basically, yeah, that's it. So have fun with you developing your you. Don't let that all other bullshit go over your head. Yeah, okay. We live in such a, I mean, like, it went so deep that we live in such a society that you cannot just say, yeah, I'm gonna develop my own self and that's it. I mean, like, you also have to participate with the world, right? You still have to participate with the people who doesn't understand this point of view. You still have to participate with the jobs, like, as a upcoming, right? Let's say you want to buy a microphone but you don't have money for that microphone, but you want to be a rapper, and of course you have to get out and maybe get some work at some job where everybody tries to fit in the world, that where everybody tries to fit in, and you have to participate with the jobs there because you have to buy a microphone, then you have to have a studio, aka a flat where you will record it and sleep at, and you need to have food and shit like that, right? So at this point, when you're not getting money, you still have to participate with the world, like, fake it till you make it type shit like that. Of course you'll get rich as fuck in the future and you will be a rapper and you will, or the specific other thingy, you will get all those money and you don't have to then worry about you working just 9 to 5 job and just trying to fit in, or living in the, and actually participating in the way that you don't want to in the world that tries to fit in. um, it will not be there, all those problems will not be there as soon, I mean, like, problems will still be because this is a world, right? But you'll be more into your you and you'll do your you, so even like the things that are outside which would be depressing to you will not bring you as much of a depression due to the fact that now you're low-key doing your you, and you just, and even like when you went outside somebody told you like, bro, you like, what who you want to be in the future, and you're like, I want to be a rapper, and like, you want to be a rapper, bro? Ah, he wants to be a rapper, look, everybody, he wants to be a rapper, like, what the fuck? So cringe, 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 shame on you, blah blah, blah, shit like that. Now, like, you will get low-key depressed, but as soon as when you come home, you put that beat on, you turn that mic on, you do your freestyle, you understand that you killed it, nobody else will kill it in such a way. Now you just like upload the song and you just sit down like that. Now there is like no depression, now there is only joy, and now there is only like fun and shit like that, right? So yeah, so just keep doing you. And it's like, yeah, of course you have to participate with the world, but don't forget, the world is the side hustle, right? But the main point is like you developing your you and shit like that. Doesn't matter in which kind of context. You developing your you in emotional more way, you developing your you as you finding your own hobbies, like overall just your you, the way you even speak and shit like that, like, you, of course, you have different type of ways that you can progress into, and it's like each part of it is like low-key your you, the way you speak, the way you want to speak, the way you speak now, the way you want to speak in the future, the way you read now, as fast as you read now and as fast as you want to read in the future, the ways you spit bars and put bars together now as you want to put them in the future and shit like that, right? And it's all development that makes you like more progressed, more expanded, more wider and shit like that, and this will accumulate into you being let's say a bigger body, type shit like that, right? Because you have more awareness now. This awareness, this body that you were in is too small for the awareness that you have. Now you need to have a bigger body, there will be a bigger one and shit like that, right? So if you will take as an examples, now you're not the physical body, now let's say you're a cloud, right? So now you're affecting um, not only people and animals that are lower you, but now you're affecting even the people because you're a cloud. Now you make somebody's day because you're raining. Now you're making somebody's life because you're raining. Um, Drinking water, food for plants, right? It's like that. Now you're making somebody's day because it's a hot summer, and you as a cloud just close that sun, and now a person has a shadow and shit like that, right? So now you're affecting more shit because you're a bigger awareness in a bigger body and shit like that. But yeah, but that's basically it. So have fun with you developing your you. Don't let that all bullshit go over your head, and just have fun. I may have repeated myself a lot, but like, yeah.